So we're reconvening. Thank you for your patience. One person signed up, and this is Bonnie Paley. Bonnie, if you're here, we would love to hear you testify. Yes, please.
Entonces vamos a empezar los testimonios otra vez. Tenemos a una persona que se inscribió a dar testimonio y vamos a empezar.
Gracias. Bonnie Paley? Hi. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for letting me speak. I know it's winding down. Anyway, my name is Bonnie Paley. I live in a rent-stabilized building in Bedford-Stuyvesant. And unfortunately, when I was desperate 17 years ago, or 16 and a half, when I was living in a tier 2 with my daughter, no fault of my own, I was desperate to find something. So I applied, I got accepted, okay? At that time, my building was run under Pratt. All right, Pratt Area Community Council, no relation to the university. Then in 2015, it went under to Impact, okay? Somewhere along the line, they screwed up, all right? Now, they decided, not 2015, they changed their name. Then in 2015, they decided, for some reason, and I know the truth, something happened with some money, they decided that they're going to go under with different management companies. So all 56 of their buildings got split. Some with L&M Development, some with CC Management, and some with Lemney and Wolf. My building in Bedford-Stuyvesant at 277 Gates Avenue is managed by Lemney and Wolf. Well, since April of 2017, I have never been harassed the way I have. And I'm not a violent person. I'm not a horrible person. I just want to live my life, okay? Because every day is a struggle for everybody in this universe. I thank God every day when I wake up, okay? And this one property manager named Mr. Wynn, every time he would come around to the building, like, you know, if you called about repair or this and that, he would ring my bell. And, you know, he started off somewhat okay, and all of a sudden, every time he came, he would ask me, do I want lunch? And I'm like, I just looked at him and said, please stop telling me this, okay? Then when I would call the office, some of the young ladies didn't have respect, and they would connect me to him, or they would laugh if you had no hot water, whatever. And then he would tell me, I'm the only person calling 311. I'm the only person making complaints on him. I'm getting them all these fines. Really? Well, somebody got to do something to get hot water, get heat when you don't have it. I don't really complain about heat. It has to be very cold. Or the elevator's not working, the building's not clean. I got every right to. Bloomberg put this together, so I might as well exercise my human rights. And he said, I'm not going to say the word, but he would shove effing food in my mouth, all right? Well, right now, I'm fighting for my rights and my 9.5-year-old grandson that is on my lease. I was told when I took him a DHCR hearing, he lied. I'm not supposed to have my rent reduction 11 years. I'm poor. I should, Section 8 was supposed to get it. I pay the lowest rent. Yes, I do pay a low rent, okay? And I'm fighting to keep my rent reduction. It's only good while I'm there. They served me with a notice secure. They said I go around threatening the residents. I don't. I have a physical limitation. When I go out, take care of business. Take my grandson, pick him up, take him to recreation. I spend my time reading, taking care of business, okay? And then they said I threatened them. I'm not threatening nobody. I will admit it. I used some foul language. I couldn't take it no more. In this last year, I thought when January came around, 2019, it'd be a better year. I lost my mother. I lost my brother to stage 4 cancer a month ago. My older brother died, and I'm still dealing with it. Every day I say my brother's around, all right? And now I just got served and I'm being threatened to be evicted. So all I want to say, one last thing. I'm gonna fight this to the bitter end, and if I gotta sue them, I will. But I know that it's not easy for a lot of management companies to manage a building, especially this one. It needs a lot. They got a sidewalk shed for 2 years. I'm blamed for that, my air conditioner. But I'm saying if you could, each one of you, I know is not a billionaire, okay? You're not making the bucks Donald Trump is. That if you can spare to keep the rent the same as it has been and not raise the rent to make management companies get more money, I would greatly appreciate it on behalf of anybody, because living in this 5 boroughs is not easy for any of us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey. So we have about another 7 minutes before the hearing will end. If there's anyone else who'd want to speak, they could go up and register at the top of in the lobby. If not, we'll sit here quietly until 8 o'clock.
Tenemos 7 minutos más, entonces si hay alguien que se quiere ir a inscribir para dar su testimonio, lo pueden hacer. Si nadie se inscribe, nos vamos a quedar aquí sentados por 7 minutos.
Gracias. That's perfect. We have 3 minutes. For all of you people who stayed to the bitter end, the good news is we have one last speaker. We have Jenna Gold-Sobel. She may still be in the lobby side. Oh, no, there she is.
She is.
Okay. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
Bring it, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Jenna Goldsobel. I am a tenant organizer with Fifth Avenue Committee. I have been with Fifth Avenue Committee since November. Prior to that, I was a special education teacher for District 75, where I worked with students in high school on the autism spectrum. I am speaking from my personal experience, and I'm also speaking about my experience since being a tenant organizer. A few years ago, I was living in a rent-stabilized apartment. Did not realize that it was rent-stabilized. Did not know my rights. New landlords came in, bought the building, and we were kicked out. Had no idea, again, that this was rent-stabilized. I didn't know what I know now. Since then, I've been advocating for housing. I've been advocating for tenants, and through my time as a teacher, I've been advocating for my students. As a teacher, you have to deal with a lot of different issues that pop up on the daily. A lot of my students ranged in age, it rhymes, there you go, from 18 to 21 years old. And their parents were very scared about losing their housing. And that was due to what I didn't know then, but rent increases. A lot of those students at the age of 21 age out of District 75, they age out of their school. And then essentially, if they can't find a job, which many places will not hire folks with disabilities, especially severe disabilities, unfortunately, then they are stuck living with their parents. And so not only are those parents trying to afford to live by themselves, they need to support their adult children. I know it's almost 8. I know.
It's actually just that your 2 minutes are up, so just try to wrap up.
Okay, and it's 8 also, so you know. But I want you, the board, to think about folks who aren't here in this room right now, folks that weren't here earlier, and it's folks that have not and may not even know about the Rent Guidelines Board. They may not even know about rent increases, but it's just year after year they see their rent going up, and they're not able to have access to attending these meetings. And so I think we need to first of all do a better job of accessibility, so folks can actually understand their rights, and so folks can actually come here to advocate for a rent freeze and a rent rollback. Yeah, right? But I also, because they're not here, we need to be able to support folks who aren't able to come here, and so I really implore all of you to think about folks who cannot be here and folks that don't even know about this. And I really implore for a rent freeze and a rent rollback, and I know everyone here is impacted by rent, and I believe that all of you also would be impacted by rent. And I don't know how it would affect you if there is an increase, but I know sure as hell that it affects these people. So, thank you.
Thank you. So I have no other speakers. I see no one rushing to the lobby to speak. So I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. So I had seconds before I even had a motion. Do I have a motion? I'll treat Cecilia as a motion and Patty as a second. This hearing is adjourned. Have a good night.
Como ya no se inscribió más nadie para testificar, acaban de cerrar la reunión, entonces gracias por venir.